All right, what's going on? This is probably going to be the first part that I'm actually posting about building the car, which is probably what most of you wanted to see. I gave you my little breakdown. And as far as today goes, it's just going to be a lot of sanding. And when I say today, it's probably a build up of the last week because I can only show you so many clips from one day of sanding and bogging because it is pretty time consuming. However, I'll try and edit them together as nicely as I can and as concisely as I can because I ramble so much. So if you watched the last video and you're watching this one as well, that's fucking awesome that like you guys are still interested in this sort of shit. I think I will get better with time. I'm just sort of posting stuff now and not worrying too much about it. I'm trying to look at the actual camera and not the screen because I have it on front camera. Yeah, so as far as this video goes, there might be a few clips from when I actually had hair, might not be, but at the moment, all I'm really doing is getting this rear section done, trying to make the merge between the flare and the body kind of nice. And as you can sort of see down here, I'll move the camera in a minute, I'll give you a proper look. Getting these doors straight, which has been a lot more challenging than I had have hoped, especially going into it. I didn't think it was going to be anywhere near as big of a job as it has been, but what can you do? I sort of bit the bullet. As soon as I welded that first panel in, I sort of knew what I'd signed up for, and it's taken quite a few months to get to this point, but last couple of weeks, maybe last month or so, I've really sort of just fucking bit my tongue and sort of pulled my finger out and gotten into it, done as much as I could. So thank you for coming along the fucking build with me. Once I get this bodywork shit out of the way, it's probably going to be a lot more exciting. I've got heaps of plans I want to get to. Like I touched on in the last video, shit like the headlights, even the wing on the boot. I might make an actual mold and make a carbon fiber wing. Just anything. I'm really just learning bodywork and fiberglassing and all these sort of skills that I never had before from doing this. So yeah, I guess I'll get into it. The last video, I had my phone precariously balanced on something else. Now I've got it precariously balanced on a tub of bog and a bearing or something, but it'll work for now. I need to get a tripod, or find mine rather, so I can actually get some useful angles because I do want to show you a bit more up close of what I'm doing. However, I'm sure you'll be able to get a bit out of this. I'll speed it up a little bit because it is really time consuming, but before I do that, I will show you what I'm actually doing with the doors here. So at the moment you can see there's a bit of a line running along here, which is where I'm trying to sort of shape my body line into it. And this is what I've had the hardest time with, and it's a bit disheartening when you think you got it close, you put a bit of spray, like primer or something on, and it's just way off. Last time I did put the poly on, it was actually relatively close. It was just a difference between the front to rear doors. So I'll close this one. I've got this taped up at the moment. I actually used a chalk line to fucking get the line straight. So I slapped that on, put the tape across it. I'll probably end up doing that again multiple times just to double check, triple check, quadruple check that I'm actually getting the line straight, because I would hate to have come all this way and have a wobbly fucking door line. So all I'm doing at the moment is smoothing down this bog that I've just put on, top and bottom sort of thing, and then I'm going to pull another chalk line along it, make sure it's still straight with the front one, make sure the curve is nice, it doesn't have any highs or lows, and it all feels good. And then I'll probably repeat the process in the front, get it as close as I can. I picked up some more of the reface, the spray polish shit, earlier today. So hopefully I can get that on. It'll be in this video. It probably won't be tonight because it's 8 o'clock already, but I've got a couple of days off now, so hopefully I can get a fair bit of shit filmed. All right, so here's where I'm at. I've just put a bit more tape. I put 2 layers on so I don't rub through it straight away on the bottom line. As you can see, just getting the door straight, it's brought this right up sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is keep sanding along here. I couldn't really take any videos either because I still don't have my tripod. I'll make sure I have that. Got a bit more sanding done before I go to bed tonight. I'm going to pull this tape off. This line's feeling pretty nice. This door is so much straighter than it was before. Need to skim it again. But, you know, skims are my best friend. So hopefully I pull this off, give it a bit of a dust. And as you can see, obviously it's not perfect. I did try something different. I'll need to reskim over the line. I was trying to meet it up, but it didn't quite work. But as you can see, that front line now looks fucking insane. Like, that's so sharp. I am going to round it all off maybe. I might keep it kind of sharp, but compare it to the front door here that I haven't sort of done yet. So you can see that line is pretty much parallel now, or running alongside that one, like really nice. Obviously this bit here throws it a bit, but I'll stand back. There we go. Like I said, that's gonna be all for tonight. I'm gonna get my tripod, bring it up here. But as you can see, I'm pretty happy with it. It almost feels like one step forward, two steps back every time I have to put a bit more bog on or sand my poly off. But I did jump the gun and I really wanted to test the poly. However, hopefully by the end of this weekend, I know I said this a while ago, I was hoping that this one side was done, like last weekend maybe, but hopefully I will have this side back in poly, probably ready for a high fill sort of thing after I give it a sand, fingers crossed. I found my tripod thing, looks like it's violently shaking, but I can actually show you what I'm doing now because I just put some more bog on. You should be able to see this pretty clearly. It's better than being way over there on the fucking shelf. But this is still the first sheet I've got on this thing, which is fucking unreal. Anyway, so what I've got here is a mess because I'm not able to apply bog properly because I'm a bit of a fucking spacky. However, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feather this all down from the top by doing broad, long strokes like this. And then eventually I had to do a bit more over this mold because it was little bits of pitting and stuff in it. I'm gonna cut down to probably around here. You can see where I've sanded, and then much the same on the bottom. I'm just gonna feather that in, just so I can try to get this line nice and dead straight. Anyway, get into it a little bit. Hopefully you can see it pretty clearly. Move the camera a little bit. What I'm going to try and do here is this edge looks pretty terrible. I didn't quite get enough bog in it before, sort of thing. This is feeling pretty good. It looks pretty rough, and all the proper bodywork guys are going to know that I'm going to have to skim this again, which is pretty much unavoidable. But let's see what I can do here, sort of thing. So I'm going to try start feathering this down a little bit and just making this side a bit smoother. I'm also using this probably relatively incorrectly, but I've got pretty fucking big hands, so I sort of just hold it around the middle instead of getting both on it the whole time. Because I don't really want to be putting a lot of pressure on the door, because I know the skin isn't super hard, especially back here. It's pretty soft, even before I did all this to it. So that's feeling pretty good there now. You can see I'm still not getting too close to this actual body line. I want to pull the chalk on that again and make sure I actually get this straight before I have to fucking sand over it and do it all again. All right, so I'm fucking overheating. I'm gonna take my shirt off and keep going. I'm fucking sweating and I'm inside, sort of thing. I don't have AC in here. So right here, it's still a fucking low. I'm gonna get some guide coat on this panel. All right, found my guide coat. I know I should be fucking prep soling this or something, but it's not happening. I'm just gonna fucking get dust off it. Have an airline, but it's down the other end. Because this shit's just gonna get sanded up anyway. I don't want it to stiff crazy. So, just a real light coat. This is sort of my problem area. I know that's... So the guide coat's probably gone off. It's good enough for me. I'll show you what I mean. So this I know is low and has been low for ages. and it's just because it was a little bit warped up here and here. So that's just a big fucking whoop in the panel. It also is partly a problem because the panel sort of tapers out, so it's really hard to get with a long block where it goes towards the flare, but I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you the purpose of the guide coat. So I'm gonna start here and try and keep the block like either side of it sort of thing, so I can work out where it is tapering. So you can see where the guide coat hasn't rubbed off, and it's pretty much this whole area here, mostly right in the middle, because I was trying to avoid sanding into it, but I can tell you right now, I feel between there and there is where it dips down. You can see it's straighter down here, straighter up the top, just because that's right in the middle of that long run of sheet metal. So what I'm gonna have to do is build this up, sand it back a bit, and then probably re-skim the whole fucking upper part of this door panel to try like amend that. Because like I said, I don't want to have a big ripple in it when the car is finally painted sort of thing. So it's tedious and it's frustrating, but I'll keep going for a bit. I'll see how much I can get away with before I'm going to have to re-skim it, because there is still high fill. That's what all this white is. There is, sorry, the poly, still a little bit of bog. Once I get back down to like more bog, then I'll know I'm probably gonna just do another coat sort of thing, because you know, I'd rather. Okay, so I've given the panel a bit of a wipe down with 50% metho, 50% water, just to clean it up a bit. Again, I should be using something probably a bit better. I've used brake cleaner in the past, but this seems to work for me sort of thing. It's sanded back to 120. So now I will clean up my bog scraper, my bog board. I need to get an onion board because this is not ideal. Hopefully I don't break this one. So I'm mad as hell. I just recorded like the entire process of putting a skim on this panel, and I had this terrible feeling that it wasn't recording, and it wasn't. It recorded about 20 seconds and then stopped. So I'll record next time I do that, but I will be doing more skims. Anyway, this is where we're at so far. As you can see, pretty much full coverage, top to bottom. I did mask it off. I went a little bit down from this line here. I went up from this line, so I can just feather, and I'm gonna get this whole panel straight now, once and for fucking all. So hopefully this one doesn't cut off halfway through. This has gone off now. I'm just gonna get a new sheet. Hopefully this is the last skim I'll need to do. So that's all feathered back now, for the most part, not here. I'm just gonna keep working my way down. I'll record again in a little bit. So what I'm gonna do this time is bog in this section before I do a skim, let that go off, take the top off that, then skim the whole thing, just so I know I'm not gonna keep skimming it and then fucking having big lows here. But we're getting somewhere. And hopefully it stays recording this time so I can show you how satisfying it is to bog stuff. I only mixed a little bit just because I want to just fill this real quick before I do a proper skim. Make sure it's getting fucking hot as fucking hell in here. I don't even know what the temperature is outside, but Jesus Christ. As far as that goes, I'm pretty happy with that. I've got a tiny bit of bog left. So I'm really quickly just gonna knock the top off this bit and then do a skim of the whole area. So got my applicator. So while I'm mixing this up, I just got a text saying my wheel centers have finished being finished getting painted, rather. There you go. I can't do two things at once. So I'm gonna chuck this skim on and then get the fuck out of here, get some food, go pick them up, and then come back to this. So I'll show you them. So like it was going to be. But there's a skim. The one that I did from the first time, always the way, looked a lot better than this, but this should do the job. It's going to be a bit hard to tell now, but because that was low, I've built that up, then re-skimmed over the whole thing. Fuck, I guess we'll see what happens. All right, real quick before I fuck off, what I'm going to do is just get this bit of old sandpaper on this block, and this is like, it's not hard, but I just want to knock off all these fucking tops. All right, gonna leave that where it is, piss off, get my wheel centers and some food, and then I'll come back to this. Really just got home in the mighty Corolla, and I've got the wheel centers. They look pretty fucking cool. Let's go inside into the shade so you're not looking at them in straight sun. Look at this. Now, if I get them in the sun, now I could call this a little sneak preview. I think I made the right choice going white faces with gold hardware, because that looks fucking unreal, and they're not even polished yet. Like, fuck, that's gonna look so good. All right, it's a new day, and I think I'm gonna have my shirt on for probably all of about a minute before I overheat. Anyway, I knocked the tops off this. I didn't get a chance to come back to it because I picked up my wheel centers and stuff, obviously. But yeah, fucking try to get this done. I want to have some poly on this side by the end of this episode, sort of thing. So I guess I'm gonna fucking get into it. See if I can find my shit. Not much to it, just plenty more fucking sanding. What's going on? I just had some fucking lunch. I did get most of this done. And finally, the top of the door is so fucking straight. Like you don't know how relieving it is to just feel that. And it's nothing. Like once I do a poly, like a few coats of poly, that's fucking good. That's it. Like I'm working on the line now. Like that's how far along I am. Even down here, you can see it looks pretty rough, but that is actually smooth. There was a couple different layers of bog, obviously. The only bit that feels remotely suspect is just this line here, but that's like, you can't feel that with your fingernail. That's just like the tiniest thing. So I'm gonna just obviously build a bit more up here. Fuck, I don't really know what else to say. I just slapped the string line down again so I can get these nice and straight. And this one here, my eyes are pretty bad, so it is kind of hard to tell like without glasses on and with just the different shades of bog and stuff. It's pretty straight. Like there's a high, but now I think I've worked out what I'm doing enough to know that where I take that line, basically where I need to sand is above that. So I'm gonna mask all the way along the bottom. Do that now sort of thing. And it should be pretty sweet to sort of work down. I've also got these doors, pretty nice. Down here, I don't know if this is factory, like it does seem to kick out a bit, but before I even welded this side, it looks like it did the same thing. So I don't think it's gonna be too much of an issue. I'm really pulling it apart here if I'm fucking gonna be going this, this angry with it. I could probably adjust the doors a little bit, but that's like real tight door gap sort of shit. Like I'm not too worried about that. It still looks good for me. So I'll get this tape on. What I'm gonna do is just carefully sand like away from this tape. I'll do another layer of tape just so it's got a bit more than just the one. time to sand it. Really good. What I will do is tape up the top and then do the same on the bottom, I think, afterwards, just to even it up. I'm gonna round this ever so slightly with like maybe 400, just a quick down it sort of thing, just because I don't want it to be razor sharp, because it's gonna draw a lot more attention to it if it is. And even this really sharp line up here is still rounded over a tiny bit. So I'll have a go on the front now. A lot more work because it's a lot longer, but that's it. And also the other hard part is it kicks out a lot here and it tapers back towards the back of the car to almost nothing. So it gets more aggressive, and same towards the front. So do what I can, but I feel like this is going to look a lot better. These body lines fading off into nothing and nothing front to back. It is hot as hell. I think I've got this mostly good. I got a bit carried away down here. That's not as bad as it looks, that bit of metal coming through. I can actually feel that. That's a low from where I was holding the sanding block too much on the fucking edge. That's just my own fuck up. I know what that is. That's not like it's, not a high rather. Anyway, I'm fucking dripping with sweat, Jesus Christ. I'm out of breath. I'm gonna pull the tape off, and this should be, I'm pretty confident this is I think the closest I've gotten this line yet. So I'll even close the roller door for added effect so you get the straight down lighting on it. But I reckon this is gonna look pretty good. I'll give it a dust. I still need to sand up from the bottom now, but fuck. Okay, that does look good. All right, ready? That is fucking crazy. Wow, I'm gonna see what it looks like on the camera real quick. You're not gonna be able to tell. Holy shit, that looks fucking good. That works. That's like fucking basically laser straight, and that's like a sharp edge too. Fuck, that's so cool, that's so relieving. Perfect. I did it a little bit above it. Just the tiniest bit. So what I do when I tape it is I just sand up just that tiny bit higher. And this bottom side is going to be so much easier because that's flat. I can hold something flat against that. Whereas this top, I'm trying to bring it down like this the whole time. So I'm sort of fighting myself, but all right, I'll get some tape. Folks, yeah, whoopsies. I already sort of did it. I'm gonna spray some high fill on this right now because I want to. Probably shouldn't, but it's too close and I'm just itching to. Like, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Fuck, let's see how this goes. I'll just prep this shit. Actually, like, you know, masking it somewhat. fucking, I need to wipe this shit down. Holy fuck, I've got the airline out in a sec anyway, but, well, you wouldn't write about it. Fucking spanner, pliers, scissors. Fuck, it's pretty much everything useful, but Jesus Christ. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so I just mixed the poly, and I think I've got it right this time. I fucking completely forgot this in my head. I completely forgot to shake it at all last time, so that sort of didn't help my case. And I didn't know how to use the gun, so I went through a litre of it really quick, but I think I got it all nice so it comes out pretty smoothly now. And yeah, this should be pretty good. I'll just give this a good stir. I'll get a couple coats on. The most satisfying part, I reckon. And it'll really show if the line isn't quite so nice, which I don't want, but it's gonna be unavoidable if that's the case. It's too late now, but fingers crossed. All right, so I will hook my gun up. Okay, let's go. Using chopsticks to stir that I had from lunch. And I know I meant to filter this shit as well, but we're working with what we got here, all right? There's fucking flies everywhere. Hopefully one of them gets a paint job. I'll just get my shit out of the way. I can work with that. I can make that do, I reckon. This back line isn't as straight as I thought it was either. But fuck. It's just wait a minute, do another coat. A few minutes have passed. This isn't gonna be like a full second coat. This is just gonna be using what's left because there was less than I thought. It's probably up to about here. But it was only 200 mils instead of the fucking 250 or 300 I was doing last time. So I fucked up real nicely. I was cleaning my gun and then I realized that I did in fact forget the actual filter that sits at the bottom of the pot. So that was the first fuck up. And then a little bit of thinners splashed into my eye when I was cleaning it. So you live and you learn. It's not the end of the world. I'm not gonna die, I'm sure. Fine now. Worst things have happened. So what I will do though is try and get this masking tape off before this goes hard, because this shit does go rock fucking hard. I'll see if I can do it without fucking dropping this whole thing onto what I've just done, because that'd suck ass. And I think I've been successful. And I've basically got no hard edge, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean a little bit, but less than I expected. So, fuck all feathering to do. This is going to be the problem area, right above this line. Like I said, it's really hard to sort of sort it out properly. Other than that, I think that looks pretty good. Better than it did last time. You can see it's pretty straight. Back here gets a little bit fucking wee-woo, but I can also, this is so thick, I can just do another coat later, give this a bit of a sand, get that probably nice with the last little bit. And like I said, that edge, I don't need that to be razor straight like that, razor sharp. I just need to smooth this down, if you know what I mean. But all the problem areas from last time, I don't know, it's almost like it goes in and then back out. Don't know, I think the final product is not going to affect it too much. It's looking pretty good how it is now, so yeah. And that's most likely going to end this part. I'm going outside, my head's sunburnt. This is going to take 3 or 4 hours to go off properly before I'm comfortable sanding it. That's what it says on the thing. It probably is a bit quicker because it's pretty hot today. But I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully the next episode isn't going to be me just sanding a door for 20 minutes maybe. I'll see how much I edit this down. Also, let me know if you do want longer videos or shorter videos. I know most of the reason I'm doing YouTube is to make the longer videos, but fuck, that looks how it did before. Anyway, I'll see you next time.